fixed manufacturing overhead absorption rate. So remember, we said the issue here is we can't really trace the fixed manufacturing overhead cost to the specific product. Like you can't trace how much each of the product consumes of the fixed manufacturing overheads. However, we can come up with some sort of estimate that can help us to allocate this cost to specific products or to unit products, right? And we call this estimate a fixed manufacturing absorption rate. Other textbooks might refer to it to a predetermined overhead rate. So it's the same thing, right? The fixed manufacturing absorption rate is the same as the predetermined overhead rate. We use the same thought process to calculate each, right? So we use the absorption rate to allocate the fixed manufacturing overheads to the products. Since we can't for sure trace each of this or the cost to the specific products, then we must use an absorption rate to allocate it to the products. So the formula to calculate the fixed manufacturing overhead absorption rate is budgeted fixed manufacturing overheads. So the budgeted fixed manufacturing overhead cost, the total budgeted amount, divided by the budgeted activity. So what is activity? So to know what your budgeted activity is, you must first understand or know what allocation basis does the company use, right? Do they use number of units produced? Do they use labor hours? Do they use machine hours? So budgeted activity can be any of these things. You just need to understand what allocation basis does the business use. Do they use the number of units produced? Do they use labor hours, or do they use machine hours? So once you know the allocation basis, then you need to find the budgeted activity of that allocation basis. So this absorption rate basically tells us how much fixed manufacturing overhead should be included in each unit, right? Because remember, we're saying we're trying to allocate this fixed manufacturing overheads to each specific unit so that we can cost each product, right? So this is the formula we use: budgeted fixed manufacturing overhead cost, the total amount, divided by the budgeted activity, which is determined by the allocation basis that the business uses.